Okay, so basically let's talk about 1.4 for a minute. 1.4 talks about angles, and an angle is made up of the sides, which are the rays, all right, the vertex, which is the common endpoint. So the length of the rays has nothing to do with the size of the angle. Name the angles in 4 different ways. So the sides are UT and UV, all right? You can call them, you have to call them by U because that's the ray. The vertex is U, that's where they join. And now naming it. Now because there's one letter there, it can be angle U. We can always name angles with 3 letters, TUV, VUT, with the vertex being in the middle. And then finally, you're going to get in the habit angle 1, especially when we do proofs of that, making an angle 1. All right, now, what's the issue with naming any of the angles below U? Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to make this S. The problem is I have 3 different angles at U. I have angle 1, which is angle TUS or SUT. I have angle 2, which is angle VUS or SUV. And then I have U, which is angle TUV. So because you can't distinguish between them, all right, because we cannot distinguish between them, we can't name it with 1 letter anymore. We have to name it with 3 in that case. And you can always name it with 3. You can't name it with 2. All right, so the issue is there are multiple, M-U-L-T-I-P-L-E, angles with a vertex U. Therefore, when this occurs, you must, M-U-S-T, name the angle either with the number located in the interior angle or with 3 letters. All right, next up, hopefully you know this already, the classification of angles. An acute angle is an angle whose measure is between 0 and 90. There are an infinite number of acute angles. A right angle is one whose measure is exactly 90. An obtuse angle measures between 90 and 180, and 180 is what brings us to a straight angle. Okay. Other tidbits, angles with the same measure are congruent angles, C-O-N-G-R-U-E-N-T. That's the symbol from last section. They are marked with either an equal amount of arcs or equal amount of tick marks inside the arcs. All right, and then finally, there's a postulate, much like the segment addition postulate. There's an angle addition postulate. If point B is on the interior of angle AOC, and we draw it out. So here's B on the interior, and there's AOC. Then the 2 smaller angles add up to the bigger one. Well, those 2 smaller angles would be the measure of angle AOB plus the measure of angle Cobb, for those of you still thinking about summer and corn on the cob. All right, with the congruent angles, like we said, you can name them like that, with multiple arcs, or if you're more comfortable with it, you can put tick marks inside the arc. All right, this is normally how the book does it. This is how I was raised to do it. So it's up to you how you want to do it. And that covers 1.4.